Good afternoon, guys. Elfie Hero Homes here, and I'm taking over the studio from Heikel, who is at an award ceremony in Tua Payoh. So, congrats to Heikel. Um, Today, I'm going to be talking about, as usual, the structure is we're going to be talking about some trending news, okay, and then some case studies. Okay, hopefully you guys will stay engaged throughout the YouTube session. We are live on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and many other places. Okay, but before we start, just would like to ask a favor from you guys because we are on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. We are active on podcasts nowadays. So if you find this show valuable, or if you like one of the shows over there, then hopefully you can follow us there and support our channel. All right. So let's get it started. Okay, news time, right? So what's the trending news? What's the loosely related news? Property news. Okay. Recently, that is our Prime Minister, Mr. Lee Hsien Loong, talking, like selfie. One of the things he said was he's gonna be building. Okay, Paya Lebar town is gonna have 150,000 new homes. Okay, that's a lot of homes. Private property and HDB flats. Um, the thing is, 150,000. How do you put things in perspective? How many properties will be coming? That is 3 times the number of Punggol HDB flats that we have currently in Singapore. So Punggol, you got what? Punggol, you got 49,000 HDB flats. Paya Lebar is going to have 150,000. So that means, okay, what the government is telling us, don't worry about your kids. There are going to be houses. In fact, I think he said that maybe the challenge will be, how are we going to make people live there? I mean, if there are no babies, okay. So 49,000 Punggol HDB, 3 times the number of the existing Punggol HDB flats. Okay, so this news for you, if you're already a property owner, wouldn't be too exciting because you're gonna retire another maybe 10, 15 years, and it's gonna start in 2030. Right, everything's gonna start in 2030, and if you are currently around 15 years old, maybe Sec 3, then you can be really excited about this whole 150,000 build up. Okay. What's going to change over there? Plot ratios. Okay. If you go on forums nowadays, right, you see all people, wow, I'm going to sell my Paya Lebar private condo. Okay. Private property for probably, maybe kena on block and all that. So I'm telling you, please don't do that. Okay. Please don't need to wait until 10, 15 years. Plot ratios are going to change. Okay. Height restrictions will be lifted because there's no more, all these jet fighters flying overhead. But it will take very long to happen. So it's probably going to happen like in 2030s, and 2035, maybe you'll have some housing over there, and then it's just going to be developed in the next 10, 15 years. Okay. So don't wait. Okay. For Paya Lebar transformation, Singapore is basically just a whole country is like transforming. It's just a piece of news to assure you, right? Property supply is okay in the next many years for the next generation. Okay. To make money out of it, it's too long a wait. Okay. So don't waste your time waiting. Okay. Another takeaway is government is also saying homes are an important part of nation building. So the homes supply and demand issue is always going to be managed. Okay, so we got no speculation moving forward. So that's what's happening in Paya Lebar. So if you invest in 2022, I don't know what you want to buy. I mean, now maybe Serangoon. Okay, but exit when 2040, it's like 20 plus years from now. So maybe it's not such a piece of news that you can take away anything from for now. Okay, it's just a feel good thingy. All right. So far, what do you think of this Paya Lebar transformation? Is there like anything interesting that you think that will come out from this, Paya Lebar transformation? So it's going to be a new town. Paya Lebar is going to be a new town. Punggol is going to be like Bedok. It's going to be an old town. So things are always changing, right? New estates become old estates. Bedok is going to be the super new town eventually. Okay. Second piece of news that that we have highlighted and we think maybe you're going to be interested, maybe. hopefully, is former school campuses in Upper Changi and Teban to be cleared for homes. Okay, so again, a lot of these old, dilapidated buildings, right? These schools are gonna be making way for homes. This is specifically this is Changkat Changi. Okay, Changkat Changi Secondary was built in January in 1965. Okay, same year as Singapore's independence. So it's a really old school, and it is, if you just pass by there, you're thinking like this school has been abandoned for a long, long time. So finally, URA are making plans, okay, to do something with this plot of land, right? Um, okay, I got good, stop. I mean, Changkat Changi, I, yeah, the guys in Changkat Changi did come to my school, Teluk Kurau Secondary School, to play takraw last time, and I was thinking like these Changkat Changi boys they look like they are adults or something, like they're in their 30s. But yeah, that's so I remember this school fondly. All right. Having said that, back to this location. Okay, so if URA clears this land, okay, most likely it's gonna be HDB or private property or mixed use. So it's just this residential plot of land. It's there's nothing to there's I don't know where is the nearest mall. Probably Changi Point. Okay, but other than that, everything is a distance away, except for the MRT. But this place looks like there's gonna be more development. More tear downs. And the east. When you're talking about the east, property prices are crazy than normal, right? So this plot of land is gonna make way for a lot of houses. Okay, and the one in Teban Gardens, I'm not gonna talk about it, but this is what's happening in the east right now. Okay, so if you're walking outside and Changkat Changi and all that, you will see the building is very, very old. Okay, so it looks like my primary school, but very classic pattern. Okay, so the third piece of news is 1.4 million. Okay. So this owner sold their 5-room HDB flat in Queenstown, okay? Sky Terrace at Dawson. This is quite common nowadays. 1.418 million. This broke the previous record of 1.4 million for 5-room flat in Bukit Merah. So you notice all these $1 million HDB flats, the 5 rooms and the 4 rooms, okay? It will happen in places like Queenstown, Dawson, Bukit Merah, Havelock, all these prime locations, okay? But when you're talking about the EAs, not EAs, usually EMs and jumbos, it can be in the mass market zones. For example, if you look in Property Guru now, Tampines Meshnets are asking for like what, $1 million dollars? I hope they get, yeah. But so the question is, if you buy a 1.4 million HDB flat in Sky Terrace, okay, is it gonna still be profitable? Okay, so you're gonna buy on the 95th year mark, so there's still like the 95 years balance list. MOP another 5 years, so you're gonna have 90 years balance, right? In the next 5 years, can you still sell for 1.6 million? Okay, let's be honest. To be very really honest, right? We don't know. Okay, but I think it might be a bit challenging. But if we do have a market like now, like all-time high, like 2013, 2022, maybe a black swan event will happen, something will happen, and property prices, okay, HDB property prices will go up to $1.4 million, right? But of course, HDB is stepping up BTO. HDB has also said they are stepping up BTO supply. Okay, so they're gonna flood the market with 100,000 new HDB flats between now and 2025. So 4 years, around 25,000 per annum. Okay, and that I think will cause property prices to actually stabilize for HDB. Okay, for HDB. If you have any questions on this 1.4 million, what do you think? Will you buy a 1.4 million HDB? The Sky Terrace at Dawson? Maybe it's a good location, but will you buy at 1.4 million? Okay. Or will you just wait for prices to ease first? Something interesting about Sky Terrace at Dawson, if you're, we've tried selling some units at Dawson. It was not easy because most of the clients were affected by the quota, all right, racial quota. Okay, so if you're a Malay, you can only sell to Malays, right, or Indians. And if you can't sell to the Chinese, but so it's a bit challenging, okay, especially if you're of the other race, lah. Okay, and I think HDB is taking steps to make sure that these people over affected in the ethnic related areas can actually sell back to HDB. All right, okay. So, okay, we've got a question so far. Any questions? Please send over. If you're on TikTok, please send over on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, right? But I'm just gonna say, I'm just gonna answer this question: Is it smart to buy a property right now, knowing that everything is currently at its peak? Okay, so this question is maybe related to this 1.4 million HDB. If you want to buy a HDB flat, I would say if you can wait maybe 2 years. I think Heikel has done a lot of videos to show that property HDB prices will actually ease, okay, and they will stabilize. Right now, it's quite unnatural. Okay, what's happening now is prices are just, it's ahead of economic fundamentals. Okay, it's not supposed to be this high. So if you buy a HDB resale flat now, just know that you're probably gonna be selling at a loss, most likely. Okay, because it is a pattern, it is a cycle. Okay, so if you can wait for a HDB, you can live with your mom first, just pay her some money extra, give your mom, tell her that, I just need to wait for maybe 1-2 years. The pattern is gonna emerge. You will see prices will ease. If you're talking about a private property, there are not many. So it depends. If your budget is below 1.2 million, you're gonna have trouble. Okay, because there's a lot of HDB upgraders coming out of the market with like $150,000, $200,000 cash profits. They're gonna take these cash profits and they're gonna buy this 1.2 million, 1.3 million condos. So the competition is very hot for this segment of the market. Okay, in the east, probably you're gonna be limited to all these 5-year ECs, watercolors, sea horizon. Okay, or you're gonna be talking about Flora area. Okay, if you just do a Google search, a property guru search, you'll find all these properties that you are eligible for. So it depends where you are right now. It's everything is gonna be different for everyone. Okay. Okay. Another question is, oh, this is HDB question. I can't answer. Let's say I already applied BTO via HDB and currently waiting for keys. Suddenly, I found out the owner of the unit that I wanted, which is on a high floor, back out from waiting. Can I back out from my and buy? Okay, so if you have HDB related questions, right? Not HDB strategic questions. Okay, it's like HDB policies. My advice is call 1-800-866-3066. Okay, so 1-800-866-3066. There's a hotline. Okay, so they are going to give you the most accurate answer. And sometimes I call HDB, to be honest, because policies keep changing. Okay, so sometimes I call HDB hotline just to get answers. Sometimes I call twice. So for you, maybe you'd like to call HDB first before just asking anyone, right? So you don't need a property agent to do this actually. Okay, so let's see. Is there anything on TikTok? Okay, so not yet. But on our other portals, this guy is okay. How can we know that even with all-time high period, is it a good time to sell or buy? Okay, what are factors that we should consider? If you're a HDB seller and you have always had plans to go to a private property, I think this is the 70th time we've been saying this over the past 1 week. Then you sell your HDB at all-time high. It's like, just get out with these profits. It's like, wow, it's like 200,000, guys. It's like 150, 200,000. If you wait, let's say you wait like 2013, like what happened in 2013. If you waited 2013 and you just took just 1 year, just relax lah, okay, 1 year lah, you're gonna lose instantly overnight 100K. which is like what, $8,000, $9,000 a month of loss. Okay, don't lose this money, but instead use the cash profits to reinvest. So now you have your BTO, maybe fifth year. It's all-time high. You're gonna make 150, 160K, 100, maybe 200K even. Okay, use these cash profits, buy a private property. Okay, buy the right private property. Yeah, don't buy the freehold mini projects cannot sell one. Okay, buy a property that meets the requirements of a property that can appreciate. Okay, over 6-7 years, and then keep some money. Maybe invest in a fixed deposit at 4%. I don't know. Okay, but of course, interest rates are so high. Not so high lah. It's like actually okay lah. It's gonna go up 3%. The SORA 3 months compounded is like what, below like it's like 0+%. So take an interest. So lock in your interest now. You can refinance anyway. Don't care about all these interest rates. Property prices are still going to increase. Private property prices are still going to increase. That is what I'm going to talk about later. But you should, if you're a HDB seller going to a private property, there's no better time. Yeah, although it's cliche lah. Okay. Another question is, I recently resigned from my job and getting my BTO flat in December. I work full back. Okay, thanks for the question, but so this kind of questions is difficult for me to answer because there's just too many aspects of it. So we need to call 1-800-866-3066. But thanks for the question, nevertheless. Okay. Okay. So what do you guys think? Okay, in the comments section below, what do you guys think? Is it a good time for you? Okay. I'm not saying there's no right or wrong. Okay, it also depends on where you are at this point. If you're happy in your 5-room HDB flat, it meets your needs, your family's needs. Just stay there, right? You don't have to have FOMO. Okay, but if you've always wanted to go to private, if you want to know your options moving forward, you want to plan your retirement through property, then you must do it now. Yeah, I hope I answered that question. Okay. Singapore property too overpriced. Again, it is a similar question. I don't think private property prices are overpriced. It is, there are properties that are overpriced, mind you, but most properties are quite okay because it's a rising property market. It's a rising private property market, and there's no like a 90-degree spike. Okay, it's like unlike HDB. HDB prices are like, maybe Heikel will share in one of the videos. Okay, for that. Another question. Is it better to rent or buy property in 2022? Okay. I would say that rental rates are at an all-time high also. Okay. So because rental rates are at an all-time high, there's no point in thinking, you just have to compare side by side. I still feel like buying is still a better option right now. It's just a matter of doing your finances well. But if rental rates are not this high, then maybe it is wise to rent. You get what I mean? Yeah. Again, why should HDB owners upgrade to private in the current climate? We are only answering questions on. Wait, I'm just looking at the slides. Is there any questions on, okay, maybe Paya Lebar, Abyss transformation, not so shock lah. 1.4 million HDB, still profitable. Suddenly a lot of questions on this. Why should HDB owners upgrade to private in the current climate? Okay, like I said, firstly is your HDB is all-time high. Cash it out. It's going to fall. Prices are going to fall. You're going to lose 200K, 300K, okay, overnight. And interest rates are high. That means there's not a lot of buyers competition yet. Interest rates are rising and people are scared and worried. So you should be out there. You shouldn't be concerned on interest rates if you stress test. Okay, instead of 3% interest, just do 4% interest. If you can afford it, then just proceed. Okay, because you must be more worried of private property prices increasing too much. You're gonna miss the market. Okay, you're gonna miss the market. If you go to our IG, you will see all the success stories of HDB owners. almost all of them, if they stayed, okay, there's this story. There's this guy in Chai Chi, 803A or B or C, I can't recall. Stayed in his HDB flat, all time high, cash out. We said cash out. Buy a new launch condo, right? So he made 220K from his Chai Chi property. Take the money, reinvest, buy a new launch, and then I think I posted on my Elfie HeroHomes. You can also follow me there, okay? It's like I will share more interesting pieces of things over on Elfie HeroHomes. Um, and he bought a new launch and he is sitting on $200,000 profit. So can you imagine in less than 5 years, 6 years, okay, you're making $400,000, guys. This is profits. Then people say, oh, but I need to deposit into the property. But yeah, it's deposit lah. It's your money. Okay, it's part of your house, right? But if you're making $500,000 from BTO and then buying a new launch, then I think that's like a lot of money. Money you can even cut your retirement. If you plan to retire, let's say 55, you can go maybe 50 years old. I don't know. Okay, but please do your sums now. You just don't. If you're thinking like, about retirement especially, right? It's time to do your sums properly now. Okay. Having said that, is it should I choose a property? Okay. So in this, okay, so property agents, okay. Talking about property agents, if you are thinking of selling your property, okay, so should you use a property agent to help you? Okay, I'm not okay. So if you need to know what is the what does the property agent bring to the table, because you're paying what, 2%. Okay. If you're paying 2% on a property agent, you must expect higher value provided. So let's say 2% is $10,000. You must know what this property agent is giving you. Okay. If he can show you that he can sell your house for $15,000 higher than another property agent, that's one. Number two, if he can show you that he can source out properties that are undervalued and under advertised, that means you're not going to have competition, right? On the properties, these properties, hidden gems. So you're going to save like $30,000, $40,000. So 15 plus 40, maybe $55,000, $60,000. And if this property agent can show you how he can cut your interest from $200,000 in 25 years to only $100,000, that means another $100,000 of value. Okay. Again, if this agent that you're choosing, okay, even if he charges 3%, just remember, if he shows you the value that you will get, okay, from the whole transaction, then I think it's worth your time and money. But if a property agent just say, oh, come sell, I can sell your house for the highest price, then you will need to have evidence. What do you mean, right? How do you know? Nobody knows, right? Okay. So we just sold a block 465 Cigar for a record price. Congrats to the seller. I hope you're listening to me, Taufik. Hello, how are you? Okay. And we sold it within 2 weeks, under 2 weeks. Okay. Of course, yep. So basically that's it, right? If you're hiring a property agent, make sure the value they provide is higher than the amount you pay. If not, no need. How about interest rate paid due to the much higher interest rates? This 3% interest rates, 4% interest rates, they're not going to be there forever. Okay. But property prices, once they go into a certain threshold, it will stay there forever. There will not be a time in the future where we are going to say, hey, there's a 3-bedroom condo, $1 million. Even for a resale, even an old condo, there will not be anymore. That was. So if we go beyond that, past that stage, then property prices will keep on increasing. That's 100% confirmed. But interest rates will change. So lock in your interest rates, tahan 2 years, okay? And then after that, buy a property. Now you got more choices, right? Buy a property. And then after that, you can manage all these things, okay? Don't just listen to the news. Oh, high interest rates, I cannot make it. All these forums, and it's quite nonsense. So for you, buying a property, don't care about all this noise out there. Okay. Anyway, last question. Okay, I can maybe ask just a minute of viewer. Leasehold or freehold? Wow. Leasehold or freehold, guys? Leasehold or freehold? Maybe in the comment section below, you can say, you can maybe share your how do you say? Share your opinions. Is a freehold better or is a leasehold better? Okay, I would say I'm not gonna have binary thinking saying that all freehold are better or all leasehold are better. I'm not gonna say that. Okay, it's stupid, right? But what we can say is some freehold are better than leasehold and some leasehold are better than freehold, depending on what you're looking for. If you're looking for capital appreciation, most likely capital appreciation, that means you want to exit, right? You want to exit after 7 years, maybe 5 years, 3 years, depending. 99 years is the way to go. Amenities usually, and they are more iconic. You know, they got more units, lower maintenance fees. There's just no freehold factor. You don't need that freehold factor to have all these things anyway. Okay, but if you're talking about freehold, right? I mean, if you're buying landed, then you must buy freehold lah. Don't buy 99 lah. You know, it's like that's basic. Okay, but for private properties, condos, you're okay buying a 99 years, because if you buy a freehold, it's gonna be more expensive anyway. You know, like Urban Treasures in opposite U Habitat. What 1,008 per square foot, right? Freehold. U Habitat is like what 1,001, 1,002 per square foot. Okay. Park at Star House 1,007 per square foot. You know, so being a freehold, sometimes you're gonna buy a 3-bedder at 1.8 million in that location, for example. Then you better like the location. Really love it. Okay, so we can now. So the questions are actually quite the same. Questions is HDB, BTO, private properties, prices, and all that. We are going for a break right now. Okay. I hope you've been with us, you've stayed on, because I just share nuggets at the end purposely. So you just stay with me. But we are gonna go for a break, and then when we come back, I'm gonna show you, okay, what goes behind HeroHomes on weekends. Does that sound right? Okay. So what happens? Okay. You know, when we meet our clients, what we talk about and things like that. So I'm just gonna share with you one case study. Most of our clients are HDB to condo upgraders, and they have challenges that you might find interesting. Okay, especially in this market. All right. So thank you very much for staying on, and hope to see you in the second segment. Don't run away. I'll see you guys then. A private
My job is to make property upgrading easier, because property owners just don't know their options. F and Farah. Aspiring condo owners who are not sure if they can afford it because everything is just so expensive.
Wow, simple things like this also now so ex.
See, condo prices also very high.
I don't think we can afford it. Might I just stay here?
You guys are doing okay. Why don't you meet HeroHomes to run through the numbers first, just to be sure? On Zoom. See, you guys can afford 6 years of reserve funds. Nice.
Michael and Janet can never agree on anything. Everything confuses them.
Mochi, I watch soccer.
I watch news.
I watch YouTube.
Fashion.
Kau buy Passionate.
Condo please.
Passionate ke?
Condo ni money. You guys don't have to decide now. Why don't you meet HeroHomes first to run through the numbers in person? Now you guys are 100% sure. John and Seth has been living here for the past 5 years. Now they are looking for the next move.
Wow, we got lucky with this EC.
But do you really think it's enough for retirement?
Why live your retirement through chance? Meet HeroHomes to play your retirement through property. HeroHomes means clarity and confidence in your property strategy. That's why HeroHomes is chosen by over 500 property upgraders since 2016. Meet HeroHomes by clicking on the blue button below.
2 hours ah?
Wait, was it blue?
Yeah, 2 hours free.
Free?
Free, yeah.
Okay. Click on the link below.
What colour?
Blue.
Hi guys. Okay guys, do you want to upgrade to your dream home but you have a million questions? Where do you even start?
Right, I have a lot of questions like, should you upgrade to an HDB, to a condo, or maybe even a 15-year-old private property that has on-block potential?
Can you afford the monthly installments? Can I sell for a profit? What happens if I'm out of job or if the recession hits?
Okay, and we'll answer all of your questions, very specific questions we understand because you might have different challenges, different concerns from other families.
So fill in the form below. We'll be able to then see your numbers, put it into a plan with 4 to 5 different options. We can then meet on Zoom or one-to-one.
Alright, so just fill in the form below now and we'll reach out to you within 2 days with your very own customized Hero Homes upgrading plan.
Alright guys, see you soon. Let's fill in the form. Bye-bye.
Hi, so today I'm at Singapore Expo. We are having an exhibition here and I'm going around to ask people whether they like BTO or resale flats. Check it out.
Hi, good morning guys. Today, Property Pilot, we are here at the Singapore Expo. Yeah, can we got time? Can I ask you some questions?
Nak tanya sikit, you suka rumah BTO ke rumah resale?
For now, I BTO. Tak suka rumah, saya tak.
Alamak!
Tak lah rumah resale lah, of course lah.
What do you think of the property price currently in the market?
Oh, I think it's quite expensive now. I guess because of inflation and everything, so everything's kind of going up.
Not that good. The high pricing lah. Now the price is on the high side. I guess after the COVID could be on the downside than what I heard lah.
Cik tinggal mana cik?
Tampines.
Tampines Oh, tinggal rumah BTO ke resale?
Rumah biasalah, 4 bilik.
4 bilik resale What makes you want to buy a new launch at the Woodley Residences? Any reason why?
Well, it's a new area, so it's up and coming and it's pretty central. So we thought it might be quite an exciting purchase.
So what do you think of the price now, price of houses?
It's really expensive. I didn't expect it to be this expensive. Maybe it's a resale, I don't know.
Dapat lead bro. Orang tengok kau, orang terus nak elak.
So around 200 and today you can sell for 360, 370.
Yes.
Would you want to sell?
Yeah, of course. But I have to plan first lah. How is it?
Correct. You have to plan first. That's the correct keyword.
A private Okay, hi. Hi guys, welcome back. I've had my drink and we shall continue watching whoever you are. Even the haters, hello, hi guys. Your questions are the best, to be honest, because your questions are the real questions, okay? Not like all the feel-good questions. You have questions where, you know, you have your own opinions and we shall try to answer them one by one, okay? Okay, but before that, I'll just talk about what happened over the weekend. For us, like I said, okay, something about Hero Homes. This is we do not just say, oh, you know, everyone must go buy private property, you know, just like a zombie. Okay, what we do is we run through scenarios with you, right? If you feel like you need or you dream of a maisonette, okay, like for whatever reason, you've dreamed of buying a maisonette, or since you were maybe secondary school, I'm not gonna be there and to tell you that, hey, now buy condo, you must buy a condo, you must buy a condo, because condo. But I'm not gonna do that. Okay, you like it, you do you. I'm just gonna compare all these things side by side, right? Finances side by side. You make the decision. I don't have package where not gonna shove something down your throat to say, oh, you must buy landed. No, I'm not. Okay, so it depends on the individual needs. It depends on the affordability. It depends on the current climate. Okay, so that's something that you should know about us. We are not HDB to condo 100%. We have clients who buy maisonette with 90k COV, and they like it. They want it. So who are we to tell them no? Okay, all right. So, okay. So what happened over the weekend? So we meet clients over Zoom or one-to-one, right? Just to go through their challenges. Okay, just to give them an update of their house hunting, or sometimes property market moves fast. So how do you take advantage of all these opportunities? By meeting them, of course. Okay. So let's say a HDB. This case is a HDB upgraders predicament. All right, you want to buy HDB, you're gonna buy 800,000, 900,000, 800,000 HDB flat, for example. 2 years later, it's gonna be 600,000. You're gonna lose 200,000, 100%, right? So that is number one. They're not gonna buy a HDB. Okay. So what's there? A private property, right? That's number two. Unless you want to live in East Coast lah. Okay, which is also okay lah. If you can tahan. But so they need to buy a private property, but we are working with a budget. Okay, not a budget because they cannot afford. Okay, because they want to work with a certain amount of budget. This is the amount of money we are ready to set aside per month to top up, right? For the property. And please don't use too much of your CPF to pay for your monthly installment. Okay, Google CPF accrued interest and see what I mean. Okay, so private property prices are always inching up. Okay, it is inching up. So inflation, there's, property prices are going up slowly. Food prices, transportation, it's called inflation. Okay, you just look it up, the word inflation. So there's a trend of fast rising condo prices. So what happens is, if you look at this slide, okay, this was taken yesterday, a screenshot, right? A condo in Flora Road, okay, Palm Isle, okay. So Palm Isle, can you see the asking price for 990 square feet? This is without a storeroom, 1.2 million. And then there's another one, 1.2 million. But if you look at transacted prices, right? Because now, let's say if you want to offer this Palm Isle, right? Oh, okay. Oh, this is Lighthouse, okay. When you look at the transactions in Palm Isle, because you have to have comparables before you can offer, okay? And before you offer anything, please check with the banks, okay? Please check with the banks if they can match the valuation, okay? 15 July 2022, just a month ago, okay? Similar size, 990 square feet. This is a different stack on stack 10, okay? And Palm Isle, 1.1 million. So that means 1.121 per square foot. If you look back at what's the asking price and what's the closing price, because I know the closing price, that means it's like what, $70,000 after we negotiate, right? So there's gonna be like that gap. You're probably gonna like pay more. Okay, lo and behold, okay, number one, the banks can match the asking price, but only to a certain extent. Okay, up to 1.15. So seller can go up to 1.17. So that means another $20,000. Okay, the buyer has to pay $20,000. Okay, of course, maybe can negotiate. Maybe we can pay $20,000, $10,000. They have to pay like COV. It's called cash over valuation. Okay, and if you're in the market right now, if you're looking for a private property, okay, don't say HDB, please, because HDB confirm got COV. Confirm. Okay, confirm. 50, 60,000, and the worst part is the price cannot go up. Okay, so when you're talking about private property, yeah. So if you buy this property, you're probably gonna pay future prices. Okay. So right now it's 1.15 valuation, you're gonna pay 1.17, that means maybe 20k valuation, 15, 20k valuation, okay, after negotiating. So is it still worth it? That's the question that they have, right? So number one is, if you have been looking for a property for over 1 month, right? And if you have looked at over like what, 20 properties, and almost all of them, they're asking is, there's a price mismatch between the asking versus what is transacted, then you should think about this. If you buy a 1.1 million property, if it goes up by 9%, if it's okay. So like say, so if you buy a property right now, it's 1.15, 1.15 valuation, 1.17 is closing price. 3 months from now, it's gonna go up to 1.17 million anyway. Okay, a few months from now, because of the data you can see, and by then, right? By then, buyers are, by then that property would probably have been taken up, because now the banks can match the valuation. So people are now more willing to buy, because you're not competing with, everyone can just buy without COV. There's no COV component anymore. So you've got more competition, because people are okay to pay, are okay not to pay COV, because now 1.17. But a few months ago, you could have bought it at 1.17, but you had more choices, right? So you are going to pay a future price on good resale condos right now, okay? Because there's just no demand anymore, right? But so the advice is, you can consider this property before the value increases further, okay? So eventually, that's a property they shortlisted. We are not going to proceed yet. There's still some negotiating, because, of the storeroom issue and layout, and, if, and is there any capital appreciation for this property moving forward? So, again, the advice is this: just remember, look for a property. There'll be some COV even in private property market. Think about what's going to happen in the next 4 months. Is this property price going to go up? Okay, anyway, and then pull the trigger. Okay, do your sums carefully first. All right. Okay, so let's look at the questions. I hope you learned something from this. I hope you learned something. It's just one part of the sharing. Again, I want to see the comments. Is there any comments that's more challenging for me? Not challenging, but more, how do you say it? Okay, somebody is asking, Sky Eden 4-bedder from 2.6 million. It's so expensive. Aku nak beli telur aja dah menyumpah, roti pun dah 270. Okay, so basically to translate in Malay, Sky Eden 4-bedder is expensive, 2.6 million. And he wants to buy he wants an eggs are already at $2.70, $2.70. It's already so expensive. Okay. 4-bedder 2.6, you must remember, when you buy any properties, when you talk about okay, it's gonna launch. Today is what date? 25th. Launching today, right? So we'll see the prices. I think the prices are out already lah. If you buy this Sky Eden, you must understand how much can you really actually sell for in the next few years, in the next 3 years, because of the seller stamp duty thing, right? Then you have to compare the projects surrounding it. How much are they transacting? Not the new ones, resale condos. So for example, you want to compare Grandeur Park, right? 1,007 per square foot. Then you got Sky Eden like 2001, 2002 per square foot. Then you have Urban Vista, maybe 1,005, 1,006. Optima, maybe 1,004, 1,003. So you got all these projects, Eco. What is the price gap between these two projects, right? Or Bedok Residence. Okay, so the other time, right, when Sky Eden launched, was almost launching, a lot of the Bedok Residences 3-bedder owners just pull out from the market. Okay, because they are waiting for Sky Eden to come out the price. Okay, so so you must understand what is the price gap between this project versus all the other projects. If it's like $500 per square foot difference, right? Then the gap is too big. the gap is too big, right? And how are you going to exit in the future? Because in the future, right, this buyer is going to buy at Sky Eden. No matter how good your exit strategy is, Sky Eden got what 158 units. They are gonna be thinking like, hey, can buy, let's say, Grandeur Park, okay, at what 1,009 square foot versus Sky Eden like 2,000. It's gonna be like 2005, right? 2004. 2.6 million, 2.7 million versus Grandeur maybe 1.8, 1.7. So people are gonna ask that question. Okay, even though it's new, there's always a gap, right? New and old, So it's not easy. It's quite challenging. Okay. To how do you say it? It's quite challenging to exit lah, I would say. Okay, why so much high over Sky Eden when it's so expensive? Okay, pasal sorry Malay. Because when you talk about Bedok, the last launch in Bedok itself was Bedok Residence, right? And then after Sky Eden, another one is going to come up opposite the MRT, and it's Skeneka. Okay, this is not a spelling error. It's just SCENECA. You can look out for that. There's more units over there as well. Okay, that is right, like opposite Tanah Merah MRT. Okay, so Sky Eden, you must understand, Sky Eden, no launches in Bedok because you talk about Tanah Merah and Bedok is like two different things. Tanah Merah versus Bedok more happening. You got more shops, things like that. So Sky Eden is going to be launched at this price because the market will buy. All right. Amo Residence sold out 98%. I don't know how many more units now. The reason why is there's just no supply. Period. Okay, so that's why it's very hot. Okay. Another question. Okay. Park Central Residences 3-bedder, 1055 square feet. Didn't even reach 1.2 property. Okay, so a lot of people think, right? What they see. Okay, like a lot of people like to time the market. Okay, so they're at home eating potato chips and then thinking, wow, I'm a market pro. I know how when the market go up, market go down. I can tell you, there's a lot of people like that. And they are thinking, right? They know the market. Now I can time the market. I know property price go down now, go up. But let me tell you something you don't know. Okay? But what you do know is property prices will keep going up. So if there's a graph, right, it's always going to go up. But if you zoom in, right, there's almost like small ups and downs, like up and down, up and down. If you zoom in further, there are ups and downs. But if you have a long-term perspective, long-term play on property, right, then don't worry about it. Okay, it's not going to be speculative. Okay, anyway, about Park Central, the guy was saying 1055 square feet, 1.2. Park Central is easy. Okay, so hence that price. We were telling buyers to buy Tapestry. Remember Tapestry, Tampines Avenue 10? Okay, so Tampines Avenue 10, we told buyers, Park Central launching 3-bedder around 1.2 million. Why don't you buy Tapestry, right? By CDL 1.2, no brainer. Okay, so that's how you strategize property purchases. Okay, any other questions that is interesting that I can address? Okay, so far, okay, somebody is asking about, wait, Mahi, any questions so far that we can talk about? Most of the questions, okay, I'm not saying that the questions are basic. It's just that some questions it's just a repeat of everything. I like that question about Sky Eden. It's very interesting. And if there are any hater comments, please let's talk about it too. Okay, I want to read them out. Okay, and then we can all learn together. Okay. Right. Okay. So, sorry, more questions asked. Okay. So, sorry guys, I'm just looking at some of the questions. Okay. All right. Oh, okay. With the amount of new HDB flats appearing in Punggol, is it still wise to buy a BTO there and sell after MOP still, since there will be a lot of neighborhoods that have the same MOP period? Okay. It's all about supply and demand. All right. If you're talking about buying a new BTO in Punggol, if you bought it already, it's better than buying a resale HDB flat of course but if not, will it be competitive? Okay, so will it be competitive? the number of BTOs that were MOPing like what last year and this year, that's a lot of BTOs. There's like 30,000 over people that have hit their 5th year MOP, right? A lot. And yet people are still selling for sky high prices. There's BTO owners, they are cashing out $150,000, $200,000 cash profits. Okay, I'm gonna just say it's cash proceeds, which is essentially profits, right? Just less the accrued interest. Okay, so it doesn't matter. Okay, because in a certain block, right, not everyone will sell anyway. It's just like maybe 10%, 7%, 8% of people will sell within the first year. And then after the 6th year, then people will be thinking like, oh, you know, my neighbor sold for such a high price. Then they're gonna go into the market. By then, their HDB will be slightly older by 1 year, and then they won't be having the profits like the 5th year guys. Okay. Yep. Okay. So interest rates are all-time high. Why do you say it's a good time to buy property? Okay. So when you talk about, again, this is something we've talked about many, many, many times. Okay. A lot of people like to have binary thinking, just one track thinking. Okay. Just saying that, oh, because of interest rates, I will not buy a property now. If interest rates are permanent, right, for the next 25 years, then I say no need to buy lah, right? Assuming property prices do increase, then no need to buy, just doesn't make sense. But here's the thing, maybe a lot of people don't know, interest rates do change. Lock-in periods do change, okay? It's just the US decided, you know, the James Powell just decided to increase interest rates because of raging inflation, because of the conflict in Russia, because of China's lockdown. It's just so, everything is just so expensive. We need to cool things down, right, in the market. So, and it will go down, okay? Interest rates will go down, okay? In fact, what you should be more worried of is rising property prices. If you want to save $400, $300 every month on interest, 300 times 12 is 3,006 over 10 years, let's say 36,000. I want to save interest rates. So 2% was cheap. Now 3% I cannot really. So you want to save 3,600, for example. Or 36,000 over 10 years. Okay. Property prices are going up 3% per annum. If it's a $1 million property, it's going to go up by $30,000 anyway. So what are you talking about? Okay. So don't talk about interest rates. This is just scaremongering tactics. It's just that people don't plan for this. You know, if interest rate is 3%, you worry you cannot pay your monthly installment, please do a stress test 4.5%. Okay? Or TDSR. TDSR is also quite tight already. Okay? And again, there's no speculation. If you need to buy a property, buy now. Don't wait. Okay? Because nobody can time the market, not me or you. Okay? So back to the case, since there are no questions here. Private home prices rise by 3%. Okay, they are going to go up, and they are going to go up to 1.17 anyway. And sellers will ask for higher prices since the market is on an upswing. Okay, one of the main drivers of property prices, the increase in property prices, are HDB upgraders. Okay, with all this money, and they'll just be, you know, buying private properties. There's going to be a lot of competition. And even then, when you buy private properties, just remember, if you're out there, please just don't buy. Please just don't buy any private property. Freehold is not necessarily good. In fact, most of the time, it's not going to be so good. Okay, just try to focus on your 99 years. And then, if you're okay, is getting a penthouse a good investment, or is it good for a retirement home? Okay, if you like, let's say you go to Park Rosewood. Is it Park Rosewood in Woodlands? There's a lot of, not penthouses, but really those houses with a small pool, right, on top on the second floor. What you notice is, every single time someone buys that, after 3 years, they sell. After, you can see from square foot, you know, if you have the research tool. If you see from square foot, the reason is simple. 3 years is because seller stamp duty. That means they've completed their seller stamp duty. There will be no taxes upon selling. And then I think number 2, right? It's just, it looks nice, okay? It looks like a nice Airbnb property. It's something that maybe you can probably, how do you say it? Maybe live in for maybe 1 week. It's fun, right? There's a pool, a sauna, maybe similar to a penthouse. But once you live there on a day-to-day basis, maybe you don't want to climb up the stairs anymore, right? So on a practical day-to-day pragmatic living, okay, please buy a property that has, that meets your needs, okay? Not because it looks like a nice Airbnb unit, okay? There's another question. What is the prospect of capital appreciation of leasehold landed that is around 20, 30 years old? Oh, wow. Okay. So rule of thumb usually is try not to buy this. Oh, it's raining outside. Okay. Wow. So cooling. Okay. Mr. Feroz, what is the capital appreciation of leasehold landed that is around 20, 30 years? Is there demand? Okay, problem with leasehold landed is precisely if you go to like Bedok, there is this Bedok. Is it Sempang Bedok? Sempang Bedok, if you just do a property guru search, you'll see all these 99 years landed selling for what? 500,000 plus? Quite big on a big piece of land. But these are the lease is just gonna be, it's like renting lah, because it's gonna be taken by the government. Anyway, so the value just goes down. So once it reaches 40 years, usually, according to the Bala curve, is it Bala curve? But once it reaches 40 years, the banks are not going to want to finance it, okay, because it's just old. Because it's leasehold, right? The banks are not going to finance it. Number two is, because the banks are not going to finance it, you're going to have to find some extra money to finance it from your savings or what. Okay, and then number three, imagine if you buy a 30-year-old leasehold condo, landed property. So maybe maybe you got 10 more years, right? Before it goes to 40. In the next 10 years, assuming the price does not increase, you are going to be standing, Nick, you are going to be caught, right? One thing, you are going to be caught with a property that you cannot offload. And then buyers also cannot buy because they cannot take a loan. What do you think will happen to a property price in that way? So I think you can answer that question. What will happen to a leasehold 99 years? Okay. Again, I'm advising from purely financial perspective. So so I hope that answers your question. So when you talk about landed, don't buy 99 years landed lah, guys. It is, if you want space, yes, but from a retirement perspective, no. I don't think so. I don't think it's a good idea. Okay. So Mori at Gulimat Road. Okay. So Mori, when you talk about Mori is at Gulimat Road. It's a new launch property. It's like, the last time I saw Mori, the project it's quite impressive for a small land size, right? Location is fantastic. It's like, it's Geylang, right? It's Geylang. Jalan Mole or something, at the SO there. So there's this new launch condo. It's called Mori at Gulimat. Location wise is fantastic. It's just that I don't know. Is that if there are any available units, good lah, right? Okay. If you like the location, okay. In terms of Geylang transformation, I wouldn't say that it's gonna happen anytime soon, right? It's not gonna happen anytime soon. And because there are so many small little condos in Geylang, like all these mini condos, there's a lot of them, right? It's like Teluk Kurau, okay? Then that means you have to take note of the maintenance fees. How much are you going to have to pay every single month? Plus capital appreciation on it might be interesting. Okay, because it is an ongoing project, so I can't really comment on it. But you might think about your exit strategy. Who are you going to sell to in the future? These Geylang units. Interesting question to ponder about. Who are you going to sell to? Okay. So that's Mori for you. I don't know if it's still there. Show flat is at at the Nasi Kandar area. You know Nasi Kandar? There's a good Nasi Kandar at Kallang MRT. Opposite. But Fairoz, if you want to know about Mori, just you want some inside info on Mori, please just WhatsApp us. All right, we will update you on that. Not many new good launches to buy nowadays. All right, let's be honest. It's resale condo. Okay, guys, I think that's about it. I don't want to go exceed my time slot. There's so many things to talk about. There are so many questions. I feel like, it's gonna... bro, Fandi Raza, I hope I answered you, right? About Mori. Okay. But again, sometimes I cannot comment on such projects because it is still live. I cannot give like not say proper. What do you say? Like, you know lah, that kind of opinion. Okay, so you need to WhatsApp us to find out about that. Okay, or just email us admin@herohomes.sg. Okay, guys, that's it. A lot of questions. Maybe I'm just gonna take this over to TikTok or Instagram Reels. If you have questions, if you have objections to what I'm saying, please. If you have opinions, because we really learn a lot from haters, okay, or people who have an opposite view, okay, of what we have. Because I'm not saying you're right or you're wrong. It's just that if you have data to back up anything, then I think you're golden, right? So same for you guys. Please, we are data driven, and all the how do you say that? Decisions are made based on numbers. I cannot advise you based on the family things, the other things. Okay. So again, please, if you find this live podcast, YouTube live podcast exciting or fun, please follow us on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and then follow us on YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn. So we are trying to be everywhere, and it will be so awesome if you can help us do that. All right. So that's about it. Let's have lunch, and thank you for staying tuned. And bye bye, guys. Take care.
A private
My job is to make property upgrading easier because property owners just don't know their options. F and Farah. Aspiring condo owners who are not sure if they can afford it because everything is just so expensive.
Wow, simple things like this also now so expensive.
Condo prices also very high.
I don't think we can afford it. Well, I just stay here.
You guys are doing okay. Why don't you meet Hero Homes to run through the numbers first, just to be sure? On Zoom. See, you guys can afford 6 years of reserve funds. Nice.
Michael and Janet can never agree on anything. Everything confuses them.
Watching, I watch soccer.
I watch news.
I watch YouTube.
Fashion.
Kau buy mention it.
Condo please.
Mention it ke?
Condo ni money. You guys don't have to decide now. Why don't you meet Hero Homes first to run through the numbers in person? Now you guys are 100% sure. John and Seth has been living here for the past 5 years. Now they are looking for the next move.
Wow, we got lucky with this EC.
But do you really think it's enough for retirement?
Why live your retirement through chance? Meet Hero Homes to play your retirement through property. Hero Homes means clarity and confidence in your property strategy. That's why Hero Homes is chosen by over 500 property upgraders since 2016. Meet Hero Homes by clicking on the blue button below.
2 hours ah?
Wait, was it blue?
Yeah, 2 hours free.
Free?
Free, yeah.
Okay, click on the link below.
What color?
Blue.
Hi guys.
Okay guys, do you want to upgrade to your dream home but you have a million questions? Where do you even start?
Right, I have a lot of questions like, should you upgrade to an HDB, to a condo, or maybe even a 15-year-old private property that has on-block potential?
Can you afford the monthly installments? Can I sell for a profit? What happens if I'm out of job or if the recession hits?
Okay, and we'll answer all of your questions, very specific questions we understand because you might have different challenges, different concerns from other families.
So fill in the form below. We'll be able to then see your numbers, put it into a plan with 4 to 5 different options. We can then meet on Zoom or one-to-one.
Alright, so just fill in the form below now and we'll reach out to you within 2 days with your very own customized Hero Homes upgrading plan.
Alright guys, see you soon. Let's fill in the form. Bye-bye.
Hi, so today I'm at Singapore Expo. We are having an exhibition here and I'm going around to ask people whether they like BTO or resale flats. Check it out.
Hi, good morning guys. Today, Property Pilot, we are here at the Singapore Expo. Yeah, can we got time? Can I ask you some questions?
Nak tanya sikit, you suka rumah BTO ke rumah resale?
For now, I BTO. Tak suka rumah, saya tak.
Alamak!
Tak lah rumah resale lah. Of course lah.
What do you think of the property price currently in the market?
Oh, I think it's quite expensive now. I guess because of inflation and everything, so everything's kind of going up.
Not that good. The high pricing lah. Now the price is on the high side. I guess after the COVID could be on the downside than what I heard lah.
Cik tinggal mana cik?
Tampines.
Tampines Oh, tinggal rumah BTO ke resale?
Rumah biasalah, 4 bilik.
4 bilik resale
Ah.
What makes you want to buy a new launch at the Woodley Residences? Any reason why?
Well, it's a new area, so it's up and coming and it's pretty central. So we thought it might be quite an exciting purchase.
So what do you think of the price now, price of houses?
It's really expensive. I didn't expect it to be this expensive. Maybe it's a resale, I don't know.
Dapat lead bro. Orang tengok kau, orang terus nak elak.
So around 200 and today you can sell for 360, 370.
Yes.
Would you want to sell?
Yeah, of course. But I have to plan first lah. How is it?
Correct. You have to plan first. That's the correct keyword.